All right, welcome to the latest episode of the Colman Power Organic Fitness Podcast. Yes, oh yay. I like to start off by saying, if you were a long-time listener, welcome back. If you are a first-time listener, where have you been? But welcome aboard. Those are the two things. I sit here now with my warm beverage, which is essential if you're talking for roughly around 30 minutes with no break. Must recommend. So this week's episode is touching on, I suppose, a topic particular to anybody who's looking for self-improvement, and it's systems for lifestyle change. And I suppose this episode was preempted from people that I'm mentoring and coaching now for and on the organic fitness program. And for right now, for anyone who's listening, most of us are looking for an improvement on ourselves. And it's really important that whether you're happy where you are right now with some areas of your life and you're not with others, that's okay. Because the idea of life being perfect doesn't exist. Some people may look out at other people, whether on social media or magazines or neighbors or friends or family members, and think that, oh God, they have it perfect. No, they don't. Not everybody has everything at any one time. And I love the example that life is like a card game. Each and every day you're dealt different cards, and you just have to do your best on the day. You have to bluff, you have to try and win, you do your best until, I suppose, the next round is given to you. And as a result of that, you can only play the cards that you're dealt. Some days you get good cards and some days you get shit cards. But all you're ever doing is giving it your all. And I give that example because I suppose not every day is how you would like it to turn out. You have lower energy levels. There's things on your mind. There's people taking away your attention. There, I suppose, in this example of cards, there's maybe even people cheating. And that's, I suppose, a realization comparable to life. You have to own your morning. And this is, I suppose, touching on the first point I want to go into. I want people to realize that owning your morning is absolutely positively key. Whatever time you get up at, you are looking for your blueprint of your perfect day. That's why I'm a firm believer in the power of the pen. You have to write down, and this is what I do with people that I mentor and coach on a regular basis. They know at the start of the week what they have to do to reach a better performance in whatever area they would like. They are focusing on the positives. They want to achieve either a personal best in their physique, in their, I suppose, lifestyle, and writing down the time they get up, the foods that they have, and from that, then it's getting from the morning routine into your evening, into your morning, lunchtime, and evening goes in that manner typically. And once you know what you have to do, it makes it significantly easier to achieve it. Because if, I suppose, you're doing things at random, you will most certainly get a random result. You will be a slave to life and whatever other things that come into your day. And the phone is extremely, I suppose, important point to touch on right now. This thing is the bee's knees. It contacts you with absolutely everyone in the world, from Timbuktu to America to Australia and everywhere else in between, and Ireland and, I suppose, in Europe in the middle. But it can also take your attention away from what you want to achieve in a day. You have to batch things together. If you would like to, I suppose, achieve a certain amount of fitness levels, I recommend a power hour in the morning. You getting in whatever it is you would like to get done. Do you, quote unquote, call that day and deem it successful? Whether that's a healthy breakfast, meal prepping, whether you most certainly factor in the likes of a workout, which would really and do really help you, supposed to achieve your fitness goal. Why would improve blood flow, that it carries every vitamin and mineral in your body, and incorporating grounding will be, and stretching is something I also recommend. It's something where you're for 60 minutes concentrating on you and nothing else. I recommend even turning either the phone on airplane mode, and turning it off is another option. But whatever it is, for that hour, those 60 minutes, you are doing those things that set you up for the day. Own the morning, own the day is something that I have put into practice myself. I'm a firm believer in goals boards. I write things down because it gets it clear. It's so clear from what you're trying to achieve. And with people that are looking to improve, you have to split it up into different areas of your life. I suppose would be your health, whether that would be, I suppose, your physique, as it whatever you want to improve, maybe a little bit of your strength. And I suppose, and on top of that, then you are going to achieve a better visual appearance, which have a knock-on effect to you fitting into your clothes better, which builds confidence, which is a knock-on effect onto, I suppose, either attracting an opposite sex or maybe the same sex, attracting a partner, or I suppose improving on the relationship that you have with a significant other at this moment in time. Then there is your wealth. If you want to improve at that, you most certainly, an hour of you trying to write down and achieve a certain amount of income, or ways that you can make more income from whatever area of expertise that you currently have. And then the other two pillars of, I suppose, overall health, wealth, love, that incorporates in relationships. How do you improve those? Whether they are, again, with a significant other, or you want to improve with your family members. Health, wealth, love, and fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from the things you do on a regular basis. Are you fulfilled in the tasks that you complete in a day? Whether that's in your job, whether that's in your training, whether that's in the food that you currently eat. Are you fulfilled at the end of the day? And if not, use this technique of owning the morning. Okay, a lot of people are wasting time. You cannot get back in time. Okay, there's one of those analogies that sow a seed today and reap the advantage of it in the later stages in life. Okay, because fitness isn't just, I suppose, achieved in a day. Either is the advantage of sowing a seed. I'm an organic grower as well as a personal trainer and a mentor and coach thrown in the mix. I don't just, I suppose, want people to improve their body composition. I want them to improve their overall health. When you listen to this podcast, be as clear as you possibly can. Make notes. When you, suppose, do that, you are emphasizing the fact that you are really trying to achieve a better stance on where you currently are right now. You cannot change your, I suppose, destination overnight, but you can change your direction. I'm going to say that again for emphasis. You cannot change your destination where you are right now, but you can change your direction. If you are currently eating foods that do not benefit you on a regular basis, you're buying processed foods, you're eating out on a regular basis. I have no problem with people eating out, but the fact is you're doing it too regular. You're making unhealthy food choices. You're hanging around with the wrong people. Who and what people you are surrounded with, whether it be emotional vampires in work, at home, family members. You need to reduce that. Stop doing the things that are not bringing you value. Stop looking at the lads and the women and the glute selfies and the ab selfies that are not bringing you, I suppose, beneficial information that you can put into practice that help you long term. Don't be, I would call it, quote unquote, self-sabotaging yourself. Realize that if you want to improve, you are the first person that need to realize that. You and everything that you can control. You can't control the weather, but you can control your actions. Every single day you decide to either lie in the bed or get up. You need to get up and do the things that need to be done. When you own the morning, when you start writing down things that benefit you on a regular basis, you know what has to be done. So you're walking outside more often, you're getting sunlight exposure, you're improving your mood, if that's an area you want to improve on. Okay, mental health is so important at this moment in time right now. Why? Because there's been so many different restrictions laid down on us. Okay, it's not been easy for anybody, inclusive of myself. But you choose the information that you consume, which has a massive knock-on effect to your overall health. And that's what I want people to do. I want people to be more specific, I suppose, owning the morning, training at a specific time, being and having breakfasts that suit you. Don't pick a diet before you understand foods. You really most certainly have to have foods at home. That's why a shopping list is given to people that I train and on the CPUF program. Because then if you do have those foods, you're much more likely to make those healthy food choices. Because if you buy junk food, you buy biscuits and you put them in the press, they are most certainly going to be eaten because who else is going to eat them? And don't give the example that they're for visitors, they're for guests, they're for friends, they're for the kids. That's absolute horseshit. And you're the easiest person to fool. That is most certainly what you're going to eat if you have it in your house. If you're getting the best of single ingredient foods, having a Saturday type lunch, having a solid breakfast, and knowing what's for dinner, having a rough, I suppose, gauge with these plans at the start of the week with people that I'm coaching right now. They write down what foods, what times, what trainings, whether it be the minimum requirement or training sessions. That's just above 50%. Okay. You have to push yourself into training. Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass anything, because for the most part, you need to put in maximal effort to get out maximal reward out the other side of it. Okay. If you were doing training in the past and you say it didn't work, why didn't it work? And quote unquote, you said you failed. Oh, I failed at that, so I'm not going to do it again. Remember that you're never good and you cannot get good at something if you don't practice it. Take those examples of when I suppose you first started going to the discos or meeting up with the other sex and you got your first kiss. You think that was your best damn kiss you ever had? You sure as hell no. But what did you do? You practiced at it. You got better at it. You threw in a couple of other different skills in the mix in it there too. And now it's called a full-on relationship that you have, and you are much more confident as a result of that. And that's, I suppose, an analogy you can take to your part of your fitness. And it was terrifying at the time. Do you remember that? When you first got that kiss, and I don't remember mine, like I'll never forget it. It was woeful. But the thing is, it's a hell of a lot more enjoyable now. And that's what you need to, I suppose, focus in on. Wherever you are in your fitness level, whether you're only starting, whether you're at mid-level 5, 6, you're heading up towards, I suppose, closer to where you want to be, level 10, maxing out. And what I want you to remember is you're not comparing yourself to anybody else. You are where you are because of what you've done, but you will become a better version of yourself as a result of the things that you will do, information that you consume, training that you do, food choices that you make, because what you do has a massive effect on what you end up becoming, the way you look, the way you feel, both foods and information. I love that word consume, because food, things you consume are not only down to the foods, but also what you listen to and also who you hang around with. I can sure as hell tell you, I would not be where I am today if I continued to hang out with the previous people I hung around with when I was in my early 20s. A lot of people were excessively drinking. I drank too. I still drink, but it's not on a regular occasion. I factored them in and help people, I suppose, to factor those occasions in, because you're most certainly going to have a birthday thrown in the mix. There's Christmas coming up. There are New Year's. There are events. There are weddings. There are anniversaries. There are parties. There are retreats that may have, I suppose, people having beverages or treats in and on those at those events. But you have to remember, it's what you're doing the majority of the time. It's not that you should be eating 100% clean every single day of the week. But if you are supposed to, quote unquote, give yourself, and what a lot of people ask me is, Colman, what's your treat? What's your cheat meal at the weekend? I don't treat foods as good or bad. That is one of the first things I really want people to remember, that no food is good or bad. It doesn't have morals. It's the idea that you want to improve and you want to be and healthier and happier as a result of that. And that's why I have an emphasis on vegetables, okay? And or organic produce, because they are the gold standard. They are the best foods that you can consume on a regular basis. Why? Because they don't contain harsh chemicals. They are literally grown using regenerative agriculture. Those foods are containing fiber from vegetables, and if you're eating the likes of plant or non-plant-based sources, you have eggs, which I'm highly recommending, tofu, tempeh, hemp seeds. These things you make up and have for meals that fit your lifestyle at times that you want to consume meals at, that you've wrote down in, I suppose, your blueprint of your day. If you are not writing things down, you need to. If you don't have a plan, you're doing things at random. Think of it like a business or a project. You have to have a plan of, I suppose, if it was your business, if you own a business, or if you ever have done and completed a project, you know that there's a start of the day, you know there's a middle, and you know there's an end. It doesn't happen at random. That person who has the company that you're currently working in, they know what time you start at. They know what time you typically have at lunch at, and they know about what time you finish at. Yes, that is called a routine, and it works for businesses and both, I suppose, projects. And then the third thing is your fitness, because that is what works. If it was, I suppose, something that didn't work, businesses wouldn't exist. And I suppose the more clear you are and more specific on your daily habits and daily routines, the easier it is for you to progress, because it becomes habits. You're building rituals into your routine. And if you're in a job right now that, I suppose, is a bit haphazard, you have to take control of that. Whether you're stressed up to your eyes, do things in the morning that before work starts to de-stress. These are things I do. These are things I recommend. Okay. And then I'm going to bring us on to another point right now of being grateful. Okay. These are systems for lifestyle habits and changes. You have to, suppose, point out the fact that being grateful is so important. I spent a period of time, just over 3 weeks in Africa. I haven't previously mentioned this too much on this podcast before. And it's something that I'll never forget, because they have absolutely nothing. And always remember that there's someone worse off than you. It doesn't have to be an individual in a poor country such as Africa, and Uganda was the country I went to. And I suppose they have nothing. They barely have shoes on their feet. In fact, most of them don't. I brought over pencils and pens and a ball. The joy when I handed over that to them, in the kids in that school, in that secondary school, learning, I suppose, about growing and how to bring those skills back to their families so that they could produce food and be more sustainable for themselves. Absolutely amazing. I'll never forget it. When you go into your house and you turn on a light and you expect it to turn on, how grateful are you for that? I went to that country and went over there, and it was late on in the evening. And as a result of that, I went into the room and it was practically pitch black. I could barely see anybody. And I was kind of like, if we turn on a light, and they were like, there is no light. And when I came back, I also took for granted previously to this, the fact that we expect things to happen like that. We expect to turn on and flick a switch and there'll be automatically light, turn up and light up the room. And it doesn't work like that for your fitness. You have to work at it. You have to, I suppose, realize that hard work gets you to a better place than you are currently right now. And it's not that it's going to be easy. I'm not mentioning anything is easy, but it's the fact that, I suppose, you have to work hard and be extremely grateful for where we are right now. There are people that would kill for your situation right now. Whatever fitness level you have, whatever family members, kids, partners, relationships you have, people would love that. People would love to be able to move like you are currently right now. There are people looking up to you. When you're putting out information on social media, you're coming into contact with people in work, whether it be over Zoom, you're sitting at home, whether it be in the office. They are looking up to you. People look at people and they emulate them. They either want a piece of your cake, pardon the pun, and you have to, I suppose, lead by example. You have to do and be the best version of yourself on any given day. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lead by example, telling people how to live their best life. Okay, not a perfect life, because perfect doesn't exist. It's using your daily routine. It's being, I suppose, the best version of yourself by just being 1% better than you were yesterday. It's the compound effect of one training session, one food choice, one podcast that could literally change your life, one literally social media content where you met somebody online where it literally picked you up from a place where you were you never want to go back to. I cannot recommend listening and consuming more things that benefit you. I'm pleading to you to realize right now that if you want any area of your life to improve, you have to literally right now grab the opportunity that's sitting in front of you. The gift, future, the present moment, and do it. Stop messing around. Stop going, I'll start Monday. You start nothing on Monday. You start today. Get outside. Make healthier food choices. Connect with people that benefit you. Stop listening to negativity on the radio, on the news every single day. You know what's going on. Surely to God at this stage, even me who doesn't have television, knows what's going on. And I'm telling you, what you want to focus in on is the things that you can control. Okay? Life is tough, but you become stronger when you do the things that are challenging. Okay? There's one of these quotes that I absolutely love. It was given to me by a good friend of mine who's actually quite ill right now. I wish her the best of luck. She's going to recover. She's an absolute trooper. But this quote, I'll take it everywhere I go. I have it in my wallet. Okay? God or whatever higher being that you believe in doesn't give you a cross that you can't carry. Doesn't give you a cross that you can't carry in whatever area you're struggling with right now. Okay? That's both physical and mental. You have to be the best version of yourself and push, because being healthy is difficult, but being unhealthy is even worse. It's hard to make those healthy food choices. It's hard, I suppose, to go to bed at a regular time. It's hard to tell the people to shut up when you're sick of listening to their tired, rough and tough, stupid excuses about they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, and they don't want to change. If you want something different than you currently have right now, you have to do things that you currently are not doing. That, I suppose, is the golden nugget to take away from the podcast. You need to change if you want to change. If you change nothing will change. What are you going to do today that you weren't previously doing before? That's going to push you, that, I suppose, up the hill. Be a little bit better. Be a little bit stronger. Become more confident. Because you have to do it. Nobody else can do the training sessions for you. Nobody else can eat the healthy foods for you. Somebody might be able to cook them for you, but inevitably you have to put it and into your body. The information, the foods, the best type of foods that you have and can currently get your hands on. I have an emphasis on local. I have an emphasis on fresh and organic. There are box schemes. There are people this year most certainly going to be growing their own. Why? Because it's the goddamn future and it couldn't be any cheaper. And as a result of that, it's free exercise. These things are coming down the line. Okay, we cannot talk about health without mentioning the likes of organic food, which is grown without the likes of harsh chemicals such as glyphosate. Glyphosate is a carcinogenic. These things have a negative effect of antibiotics on your gut health. Gut health is something that improves mood. If you are suffering with either, I suppose, depression or anxiety, most certainly changing up your diet to higher fiber foods is going to improve that. And hanging around with people who promote that, hanging around with people that consume that eat that cook that can share foods with you, share lifestyles, share habits, share a routine. Go with them, hang out with them, go to their house, get them over to your house. Because the more things that you do with people that give you energy, the better off you will be long term. Because that is what you're looking for. You're not looking for a diet. You're looking for systems, for lifestyle change, you see. And of course, it's going to be uncomfortable. You are going to be at parties and lunches and events where people are making those food choices that are not optimal. That could be the dessert that's laid out in front of you, or everyone else is getting whatever they would like at the restaurant, and you decided to choose a slightly healthier food option, and they kind of go, huh? Are you still eating healthy? And you have to actually, I suppose, put yourself in that uncomfortable position and make that healthy food choice if you want to be the best version of yourself. I'm a firm believer in personal development, and that starts with choices. And you have the choice to do whatever you would like with the foods that you eat on a regular basis, with the training that you do. And if people are, I suppose, are questioning that, I would be questioning if they are the people that you want to be hanging around with the most part of your time. That's key. Because those friends influence, and the people that you hang around with, there's that analogy again, the fact that if you hang around with 5 unhealthy people that are constantly making unhealthy food choices on a regular basis, you're going to be the 6th. But if you hang around with or consume their information with people that are quote unquote healthier, you're going to be the 6th. These are things you have to take into realization. You have control. You have to take the power into your own hands. You have 2 hands. You have 1 mind. You have to make the choices. Stop doing the things that don't benefit you. Okay? Self-sabotage is an absolute nightmare. It happens to all of us, inclusive of myself. Okay? Don't tell yourself that you can't. Don't tell yourself that you're too old, you're too big, you're too anything. And you're only too old or too big when you compare yourself to somebody else. Stop comparing yourself to other people. When you start realizing that you are all you are because of what you've done, you're going to improve because of what you're going to do. You compare yourself where you are today to the best version of yourself in the future. You realize that and take it on board and put into practice a morning routine, a blueprint, write it down of your day, of your morning, of your week that follows into months, and months follows into years. Okay, that's key. It has to be a habitual thing that you're doing. Build habits, build systems, put them into place. Because if you leave it down to willpower, willpower won't get you through the tough or the wet Wednesdays that are coming up in this winter. Okay? But if anybody's struggling right now, always send me a message. I will 100% get back to you. That's guaranteed. Send it to me on Instagram because I get to send you a voice note back. That's the kind of fella I am. I've met people along the way that have really most certainly helped me big time. Mentors, coaches, because I didn't do it on my own. I sure as I can tell you that. And this is one that I want you to take home with you, and you can write it down as well for people that are taking notes, because I know people take notes, and I recommend people are supposed to do that on a more regular basis. It's the fact that if you want to go fast, go alone, which I don't recommend. But if you want to go far, go together. Bring friends, bring family members, go with coaches, get a mentor. And some of them can be paid. Some of them can be a personal trainer. Some of them can be for personal development. But the thing is, you have to contact and reach out to them if you're looking to improve. And this message is for you. Whatever day you listen to this, wherever you are, whether you're in the car, whether you're walking, whether you're listening to this on a run. Personal development comes with you personally looking to improve yourself. I suppose that's a good way as any to finish off this week's episode of Systems for Lifestyle Change, Organic Fitness Habits, Organic Fitness Lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's you realizing that you're not happy right now where you are, what you want to improve. The compound effect. Do more things that benefit you and do less things that you don't like to be a happier and a healthier version of yourself. For the most part, I want you to improve. Be the best version you possibly can. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop doing the one thing that you know that isn't helping you. Can you hear that in my voice? I'm looking and listening to people that are constantly saying, I can't. Tell yourself that you can and you will. It's key. It's probably the one thing that you need to realize right now today. And we'll wrap up with that, I suppose. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. That's coming straight from someone who's looking for you to improve now that you've taken the time, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this episode. Whether you listen to it on YouTube, I much appreciate it if you were listening to it on any of your social media platforms and you would share it. It just helps me reach out to, I suppose, other individuals that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to. If you are on iTunes, if you would give me a 5-star rating review, that would be unbelievable. If you want to give me a 3-star, you don't enjoy it, just send me a message, because that actually helps. That doesn't really help at all. But I suppose touching on, I wear these blue light blocking glasses for the fact that improves my sleep, and your sleep is so important. I have a discount code called Colman 15. If you were looking to, I suppose, have your habitual routine improved with your sleep, these are things that I recommend. Swanwick are someone that I have been using for the last 4 years, nearly in total now, and I highly recommend them. But other than that, I like to end up these shows by saying, oh, well, before we even finish that one, the fact is there's a retreat coming up the 26th of November. If you were looking to, I suppose, join that, send me a message and we will hook you up on that. There is yoga, there is grounding, there is sea swims, kayaking, personal development, nutrition, organic growing talks. There's 4 experts in their field. If you want to go to Westport in west of Ireland, in County Mayo, get on it and send me a message as well, and we'll hook you up with that 100%. All right. Episode: systems for lifestyle change. Tick. Get on it. Don't waste your time. Get on it today. And I always finish these episodes by saying, stay tuned, stay classy, and keep it organic.